The call came at 2:15 on a Tuesday afternoon. "Miss Carter, this is David from First National Bank Security. We have your sister in our office right now. She just tried to empty your business account." I pulled over. My hands went numb on the steering wheel. "What do you mean, tried?" "She presented what appeared to be your identification. But when we asked for a secondary form of ID, she couldn't produce one that matched. Because the name on everything was yours, not hers. $47,000. That's how much she tried to walk out with. Here's the thing nobody tells you about family betrayal. It doesn't start with a crime. It starts with a single word: luck. How do you explain to a bank manager that your own sister thought your six-figure business was just dumb luck? That she believed she deserved half of something she never built? Drop a comment. Where are you watching from? And what time is it right now? Hit the like button if you've ever been underestimated by the people who were supposed to believe in you most. Because this didn't start at the bank. It started the day I stopped being useful. My sister Jenna and I grew up in a classic golden child dynamic. She was the favorite. The one who got piano lessons and college paid for and a car at 16. I was the backup plan. The one they called when they needed someone responsible. When Jenna dropped out of her third college, nobody said a word. When I asked for $200 for a used laptop to start freelancing, I got a lecture about entitlement. So I taught myself graphic design, branding, social media strategy. I worked overnight shifts at a coffee shop and took freelance clients on my breaks. I slept 4 hours a night for 2 years. 3 years ago, I filed my LLC, Carter Creative Consulting. My first client paid me $1,200 for a rebrand. I cried in my car. Year 1, I made $43,000. Year 2, $112,000. Year 3, $240,000 in revenue. I hired my first employee. Then my second. Jenna's reaction? "You got lucky with that tech startup client." When I landed a campaign with a national retail brand, she shrugged. "Anyone can make a logo." My parents were a little better. But only a little. "Why can't you help your sister find some clients? You have so many." Because she didn't want clients. She wanted credit. Here's what I learned as a freelancer. Paper or it didn't happen. I kept every contract, every invoice, every email thread, every signed agreement. My operating documents sat in a fireproof safe in my apartment. I thought that was paranoid. Turns out it was survival. Because Jenna was about to ask for something I couldn't give. And when I said no, she was going to try to take it anyway. She showed up at my office on a Thursday morning. With our parents. I should have known right then. Jenna never came to my office. She said it was too corporate for a 3-person team in a co-working space. My mom spoke first. "Sweetheart, your sister needs help. She's in a tough spot financially, and we thought you could bring her on." "As a partner?" I looked at Jenna. "A partner?" She nodded. 50-50. I can learn the business and draw a salary while I get back on my feet. It's just paperwork. Just paperwork. 3 years of 16-hour days. 3 years of pitching and failing and learning and building. Just paperwork. "Jenna, you want half of a company you've never worked a single hour for?" Her face hardened. "I'm your sister. You owe me. We're family." My dad jumped in. "You can afford to share. She's $30,000 in debt. Credit cards. You have plenty." I took a breath. "I'm really sorry you're struggling. But no, this is my business. I built it. It's not up for redistribution." Jenna stood. "Fine. Don't come crying to me when you need family." She walked out. My parents followed, shaking their heads like I was the one being unreasonable. I sat in my office for 20 minutes staring at the wall. I thought that was the end of it. Then my bookkeeper called. "Hey, someone contacted me yesterday asking for your EIN and bank statements. Said she was you, calling from a new number for tax purposes." I didn't give it to her, but I wanted to check. "Did you authorize that?" "No, I did not." My bookkeeper didn't give out the information. But the fact that Jenna tried shook me. She had impersonated me. To my own employee. That was identity fraud. Then the letter came. Certified mail. From an attorney I'd never heard of. Jenna had filed a civil claim in county court. She was alleging a verbal partnership agreement from 3 years ago. She wanted access to my business accounts for reconciliation and equitable distribution. There was no verbal partnership. There was no agreement, but I had a sinking feeling in my stomach. What if a judge believed her? What if she's your sister trumped paperwork? My phone rang. My mother. This is out of control. Just give her something. Settle this. You're tearing the family apart. Not Jenna, me, I was the problem. I didn't sleep that night. I kept thinking maybe I should have just said yes. Maybe I should have made her a contractor, paid her something, kept the peace. Maybe I was selfish. But then I pulled my files. I opened the safe. I looked at 3 years of documents, and I remembered something my first client ever told me. Always build your case before you need it. I didn't just have paperwork. I had a trail, and I was about to use it. I hired an attorney the next morning. I brought everything. My LLC operating agreement, my business bank statements, my tax returns, my contracts, and I brought the emails. 2 years ago, I had offered Jenna a paid contractor role. $1,500 a month to help with client social media scheduling. Part-time, flexible. She had declined. In writing. Her exact words? Thanks, but no thanks. I'm not doing grunt work for you. Marketing isn't real work anyway. My attorney read it twice. Then he looked up. She has 0 legal standing. The operating agreement shows single-member LLC. You filed it 3 years ago, notarized and recorded. She's not on anything. This email proves she was offered a role and turned it down. I exhaled for the first time in 3 days. So what is she doing? She's betting you'll settle to avoid court, to keep family peace, and most people do. He slid a folder across the desk. But you're not most people. You kept records. That's receipt number 1. If she wants to go to court, we'll bury this in summary judgment. I responded to her attorney that afternoon. 1 sentence. See you in court. 2 hours later, my phone rang. It was the bank. And that's when everything changed. Jenna knew her lawsuit was weak. So she pivoted to something uglier. Social media. She posted on Instagram and Facebook the same night. It's hard when you help someone build their dream and then get cut out the second they make it big. Family should mean something. Vague enough to sound noble. Specific enough that everyone knew she was talking about me. My parents shared it. Then came the comments. Aunts, cousins, people I hadn't spoken to in years. You should be ashamed. Family first. My phone flooded. My clients started seeing it. One of them messaged me asking if everything was okay with my business partnership dispute. My reputation was on the line. And then the bank called. Miss Carter, we need you to come in immediately. There's been an incident involving your business account. We have someone here now claiming to be an authorized co-owner. She presented documents. We need you to verify. I was 20 minutes away. I broke every speed limit. When I walked in, the branch manager met me at the door. His face was serious. Come with me. He led me to a back office, and there, sitting in a chair with a security guard standing nearby, was Jenna. She wouldn't look at me. The manager closed the door. Your sister attempted to add herself as a co-signer to your business account 30 minutes ago. She had documents and an ID, but something didn't match. He slid a paper across the desk. I looked down, and my blood went cold. It was a corporate resolution, typed on official-looking letterhead. It authorized Jenna Carter as co-owner and co-signer on all accounts. It had my signature at the bottom, except I had never seen this document before in my life. The signature wasn't even close. The manager pointed to a second item. A driver's license. It had my name, my address, my date of birth. But the photo was Jenna's face. Badly edited. Printed on cardstock. Laminated at home. She tried to use this as secondary identification. Our system flagged it immediately. The numbers didn't match state records. When I asked her for an alternative form of ID, she became flustered. That's when I called you. I looked at Jenna. She was staring at the floor. This is forgery, I said quietly. The manager nodded. Yes, it's also identity fraud. We've already filed a suspicious activity report with federal authorities. The question now is whether you want to press charges. Jenna finally looked up. Her eyes were red. I just needed help. You have so much. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just looked at her. You didn't want help. You wanted to steal from me. The manager gave me 24 hours to decide on charges. I walked out. But first, I took photos of everything. Receipt number 2. I needed to understand why. My attorney pulled a credit report. With my signed authorization and a legal subpoena tied to her civil claim, it was permissible. Jenna wasn't $30,000 in debt. She was $68,492 in the hole. Credit cards, a car lease she couldn't afford, a defaulted personal loan, a medical bill in collections. My parents had been covering the minimums for months. They were tapped out. But there was something else. I went back through her social media, not the recent posts, the old ones. 6 months ago, she had posted a photo at a networking event. The caption? Building something amazing with my sister. Stay tuned. She'd tagged my business account. Everyone thought she was my co-founder. She'd been lying for half a year, living off a reputation she didn't earn. The fake ID wasn't a sudden snap decision. It was a last-ditch attempt to cash out before her house of cards fell. I called my parents. I told them about the debt, about the forgery. My mother went silent. Then she said, "We didn't know about the fake ID. That's too far." Too far, not wrong. Just too far, I hung up. And I made my decision. I knew exactly what to do. I met with my attorney and a representative from the bank the next morning. We built a plan. Step 1. File criminal charges for identity fraud and forgery. These were felonies. The bank had evidence. The state had jurisdiction. Step 2. File for a restraining order. Jenna would be barred from my business, my accounts, and any contact related to the company. Step 3. Send a cease and desist to her attorney, copied to my parents, making it clear that any further claims would result in a countersuit for defamation and harassment. But here's the thing. I didn't want to destroy her. I wanted boundaries. So we drafted a settlement offer. She could take it or face trial. The terms were simple. 1. Sign an affidavit, admitting no ownership claim. Ever. 2. Post. A public retraction and apology on the same platform she used to smear. Me. 3. Enroll in a nonprofit. Credit counseling program within 30 days. Proof required. 4. Zero contact regarding my business for 5 years. Violate it, and the criminal charges move forward. In exchange, I would not pursue felony prosecution. The bank would close the fraud case. My attorney asked, "Are you sure?" "You have her dead to rights." I nodded. "I want my business protected. I want the truth on record. And I want her to get help, but not at my expense." I sent one text to Jenna. "We need to meet. Bring a lawyer." 3 days later, she did. The meeting was at my attorney's office. Conference room. 4 chairs. Jenna and her lawyer on one side. Me and mine on the other. My attorney opened a laptop and connected it to the screen on the wall. He didn't waste time. Let's be clear about what we have. First image. The forged resolution, side by side with my real signature from the LLC filing. Forged signature. Doesn't match. Document never authorized. Second image. The fake ID, Jenna's photo with my name. Counterfeit state identification. Class D felony in this state. Third image. Bank surveillance still. Timestamp. Jenna at the counter. Video evidence. Attempt to access account under false pretenses. Fourth image. The suspicious activity report filed with the Treasury Department. Federal case number assigned. This doesn't go away. Jenna's attorney looked like he'd been hit with a truck. He turned to her. "You told me this was a partnership dispute." She said nothing. My attorney slid the settlement agreement across the table. "These are the terms. They are final. Your client can sign today and walk out with a misdemeanor level consequence, or we proceed to arraignment on felony charges next week. Jenna's lawyer read it. He looked at her. You need to sign this. She tried to argue. I just needed help. She has everything. I have nothing. I spoke for the first time. I have what I built. You tried to steal it. There's a difference. My attorney pointed to the signature line. Jenna's hand shook. But she signed. Her attorney signed as witness. My attorney notarized it on the spot. Then he pulled up the civil case on his laptop. He filed a joint stipulation of dismissal with prejudice. The clerk approved it electronically in 40 minutes. It was over. Jenna stood without a word and walked out. Her attorney followed, apologizing under his breath. I sat there for a long time. My attorney closed his laptop. You did the right thing. I wasn't sure yet. But I knew I'd done the only thing I could do. I protected what I built, and I set a boundary I should have set years ago. Jenna posted the retraction 2 days later. I made false statements about my sister's business. She built her company on her own. I was not involved. I apologize for any confusion or harm. Short, clean, public. She lost friends over it. People who had believed her story and sent me angry messages suddenly went quiet. A week later, she enrolled in a nonprofit credit counseling program. I got the proof via her attorney. She stuck with it. She also got a job. Retail. Full-time. It wasn't glamorous, but it was honest. My parents were furious with me at first. Then they were silent. They stopped calling. Stopped asking me to fix things for Jenna. It hurt. But it was also the boundary I needed. I changed my business bank accounts. Added two-factor authentication on every single platform. Tightened security everywhere. I also hired a fractional CFO to run monthly audits. No more surprises. The business grew 40% the next year. I hired a chief operating officer, expanded the team to 8 people, and I started a foundation. It's called the Carter Grant for Women Entrepreneurs. We offer micro grants to women starting businesses who come from dysfunctional or unsupportive family backgrounds, because I know what it costs to build something alone. The first grant went to a woman whose brother had sabotaged her credit to stop her from opening a bakery. She reminded me why I kept every receipt. 6 months after the settlement, Jenna sent me an email. It was short. I'm sorry. I was drowning and I blamed you. I'm working on it. I didn't reply. But I didn't block her either. I don't know if we'll ever be close again. Maybe we will. Maybe we won't, but I know this. My success doesn't owe anyone an explanation, but it does owe me protection. Boundaries aren't cruel. They're survival. And luck didn't build my business. Receipts did. Here's my question for you. Have you ever had to choose between keeping family peace and protecting what you built? What did you do? Drop your story in the comments. I read everyone. And if you believe that boundaries are a form of self-care, hit that subscribe button. I still keep every invoice, every contract, every email. Not because I'm paranoid, because I'm prepared. One last thing. This story is a fictionalized dramatization for educational and entertainment purposes. It is not legal, financial, or professional advice. If you're facing something similar, consult a qualified attorney or financial advisor in your area. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.